very happy for our kids, our players, reaffirming the hard work they've done. Our coaches, how hard they've worked. I'm very proud of that group. They have sacrificed and paid the price and been battled and scarred. And today, that was special. That was a really, really fine football team we played, well coached, one of the top teams in the ACC, one of the best quarterbacks that we face or may face all year long, top flight receivers, and our kids hung in there, fought, and it was a great team win. It was defense. You see them growing up. It's something that magically couldn't happen. They only could grow up through experience, and they only could develop through experiencing and repeating situations, and they're doing that now. You saw offense that struggled at times in the second half, but on the sideline, they hung in there. You saw disappointment, not feeling sorry for themselves at times, but because they wanted to do well for one another. And then you saw them come together in overtime, and there was no way Dominique was giving that ball to anyone else. And I was very proud of them. Special teams, again, has been solid and changed field position and won the hidden yardage battle again. I know they did without even counting them up. I'm very proud of that unit. And the fourth part of it is our sideline. There's offense, defense, special teams, and there's sideline. I was very proud of our sideline conduct. They were supportive of one another, players and coaches, coaches and players, players and players, coaches, coaches. They stayed behind and uplifted each one, and it was really a proud moment for me to see that happen. It was good to get our team in front of our fans, in front of Pirate Nation, which, again, I repeat, is second to none to anywhere in the country. If you didn't understand big-time football, that was it today here in Greenville. I'm not backing off on that statement. Our fans are second to none. You saw how they cheered, how they supported, and what an atmosphere. And that's a tribute to our fans. What great fans. And it was good to let them be around their team and cheer for their team and love their team. So very proud of the win. We have a 24-hour rule we can enjoy until tomorrow, and then we'll prepare for Marshall. But right now, we can enjoy this one. I'm very happy about this one. Questions?
Damon Magazine had a tough assignment no matter what was going to happen today. He was facing, obviously, a tough quarterback, but how fitting was it for him to be the guy that is on the end of the win?
Damon's a football player. He's a CK like I am. He's a coach's kid. His dad was here today. Damon's dad is offensive line coach for the Carolina Panthers. Big Mags has been a coach. He coached at Boston College for years, and Damon's a CK. I had no hesitation. He had confidence from second one. Even last week in Southern Miss when Bradley was wrongfully ejected, which was overturned by our conference, you saw Mags step in and do a great job. So we had confidence in Mags, and Damon's worked out with NFL guys for years, so he was not intimidated by the moment at all.
Your defense held them to 5 of 18 on third down tries. When you look back at the Tulsa game, it seemed more like 16 for 18. What has been the difference? What do you think they were able to do that would make them so effective today?
They're developing. Guys, the first game we had 9 new starters. We got to remember that. That first game, that was new start for 9 of them. We had 3 starters missing today. So you see and I've mentioned it before, the development of the defense is something that can't happen. It can only happen, through situations, through experiences like today, like last week in Southern Miss. And when you see them develop is, okay, I've gone through a situation before in the previous game, maybe Virginia Tech or maybe Tulsa, and I see it again now, last week in Southern Miss, and I saw it today versus North Carolina State, whatever situation may have been. And that's when you start seeing the development happen. I've been a part of transition quite a few times, but I've had confidence in the guys, and it takes time, you know. So you see a group that's growing, you see a group that's believing in what they've been told, and trusting it. Not that they didn't, but now they trust it. And the test is trusting your technique and your assignment when adversity hits, and they did that today. Whereas in some situations they were not sure, you know. So I think you see them growing, and I'm impressed for continued improvement in them. I'm very proud of them.
Ruff, when you, on that last play today, did you think back to the play you made in 77 or so?
You know, I felt like we could pick one off. I think we had a couple, didn't we? Didn't we have a couple of picks? Three, right? And I felt like we had a pretty good beam on it. I was glad Mags got the last one. Was that Mags? Pretty good read by him. And the one thing, if you notice, and that was a good question you asked, he didn't hesitate when he went. You know, whereas a couple weeks ago he hesitated. Today he didn't. So a little bit it reminded me, you know. And,
flashback to you.
yeah, I'm just when he intercepted, I go, yeah, we got that one. So I was proud of Mags.
Coach, when Giovanni had the fumble at the goal line, I think you guys had 4 straight 3-and-outs before the last drive, and State went ahead. You talked about the team staying positive, but how did they sort of, I guess, get it together enough when the game was on the line to sort of rally back after that?
Support from their teammates. We believe in them as coaches. Coaches telling the players, we believe in you, we love you, don't worry about it. Mistakes happen. You know, they're not trying to, he was trying to score, you know. He wasn't trying to, you know, make a mistake. So, you know, I look at it like that with him, and let Giovanni, we love him, let John know we love him. Those guys are trying to battle for extra yards, and I think it's support from teammates and support from their coaches, and I think it's unconditional belief in one another, and that's developed through experiences. And I'm really anxious to see it keep developing.
Ruff, can you talk about the value of a win in this situation, and just what it does for recruiting and in-state, and just the big picture in terms of coming out on top?
The biggest picture is the victory for the kids. To see, to see how I've seen how and watched, observed how hard they've worked. The biggest thing out of this game, the first thing, is the kids earned it, and I'm very proud for the kids. That's number one and foremost. The victory against North Carolina State and in-state rivalry, that was big, but we played a team that will be a contender in the ACC, that will go to a major bowl. Their offense was one of the top offenses in the ACC. Our defense did a great job of handling those guys all day long. Those things are a part of it. We had some recruits in the day, and they got a chance to witness our atmosphere. That was the part of recruiting that I was happy with. If they watched it had a chance to watch it on television, any potential recruits for this year or next year, they saw our fans, our Pride Nation, our atmosphere here in Greenville, and what is it about. And it's a big time atmosphere. I've had a chance through my experiences and early in our experience with traveling to have been in a lot of venues. And I mentioned this before, whether it was Texas, in Austin, or in Norman, or in A&M, or wherever it been, Gator Bowl or Cotton Bowl, whatever it was. This atmosphere here in Greenville is second to none. It's big time, and that's our fans. And so for recruiting, the victory for our kids, you know, you beat a really good football team, but our recruit had a chance to see what we have to offer here, football-wise, and I think it's second to none.
Ruff, going back to the learning from experience theme, how much did the fact that you guys have come back late in games, the Tulsa game being the one that sticks out in my mind, did that factor in the confidence in your offense, getting the ball late, getting the field goal to tie it, and then, you know, in overtime to come back and win that thing?
I think it even starts back in the spring. You know, we talked about playing the Pirate way, Pirate football, our way, and that's been a physical football team that's tough, smart, and has a never say die attitude. The game is never over. We'll keep fighting till the fighting's done. And that's our kids, and we believe that as coaches. And the Tulsa game was won, and we had to learn facing opponents, Virginia Tech and UNC at their place. And last weekend, Southern Miss was another one. We were down, and we had to have a drive and today. But the experience, what you mentioned, I think that goes hand in hand with the development of the team. Even on offense, our defense, our special teams, once they've been through it, now there's a calmness about them. They understand that they can do it. It's a belief that we have in them as coaches, they have in us as coaches, and then we have it's within that group too. So I think that's a big part of it.
Big difference between